Alright.
There's other stuff here.
So, in preparation for Age of Ultron, let's talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Thus far.
Starting with Iron Man in 2008. I guess I'll go over my thoughts first and then just go to you two. So, Iron Man 1 was good for 2/3. Then Jeff Bridges went fucking insane.
Yeah.
I think Iron Man 1 would have been way better if at the end of the film he went and fought terrorists and stuff like he was doing the rest of the movie, or the 10 Rings, and then they tied that into the next one.
Yep.
I feel like Iron Man 1 was pretty good for the most part, great origin stuff, but the third act's just fucking shit. But I guess back then we didn't really care because it was the best.
Was it even?
Apart from The Dark Knight, which I think just came out after it, it was pretty much the best comic book movie. I think the only other two that kind of came close would have been X-Men 2,
Yep.
and some people say Spider-Man 2, but I don't think it's...
No.
Yeah, no, it's not that good.
Yeah.
A lot of people love Spider-Man 2, but it's not that good. Fuck you.
It's the best of 3 bad movies.
Yeah, it's the least worst.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the least worst.
it's, just because, like, the first one, there's, like, Anyway, we're not talking about Spider-Man.
You don't think,
That's a
like,
conversation from over there.
they forced, like, Jeff Bridges to go crazy because they couldn't just have him go fight terrorists because they needed, like, a supervillain for him to fight, for it to be more comic booky?
No, it just needed a bigger suit. That's what happened.
The terrorists needed a bigger suit.
No, it just needed Iron Man's in a suit. So what do we have to do to conclude the movie? He has to fight someone with a bigger suit.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, if he did just go fight terrorists at the end and right all the wrongs he did and blah, 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 it wouldn't have been, like, a comic booky movie. Like, they needed a supervillain, and it just felt really forced.
And
Like, they didn't know how to wrap it
At
up.
that point when the movie was made, was it sort of established that it was starting the universe, or was that after?
Well, no, they didn't announce anything before that, but there's the post-credits sting with Nick Fury.
Yeah,
And he says,
true.
we got to talk about the Avengers or whatever
Yeah.
after the credits. So,
So it was intended to start the universe.
well, I don't know.
Or was it tacked on after?
I think they made the movie and this was the first Marvel Studios film.
Yep.
And they were already in production for, well, no, Incredible Hulk came out that same year.
Yeah, 2000.
So-
I really like that one.
And Tony Stark was in that.
Yeah, he was.
So I think they kind of knew that they were going to do it. They didn't really have anything set.
So like Easter eggs that they can now say, yeah, that was
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
the
like,
universe, yeah.
and then Iron Man just fucking exploded, made like $400-500 million or whatever, which was pretty good. I think apart from Spider-Man, it would have been like the biggest
yeah.
at that point.
And I think it helps that with a character like Tony Stark, the general audience likes that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's not say Spider-Man where it's a depressing origin story. It's just this dude has a lot of money, sleeps with whoever he wants, and can make a cool ass suit where he can fly and blow up stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome to everyone.
And, like, even the general movie itself was, like, a lot brighter, a lot more daytime combat.
Yeah.
Apart from, like, contrasting against the Dark Knight, which is all, like, nighttime and brooding. It was different.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think that's why people loved it a lot more.
It was fun.
Yeah. There's one part in Iron Man which, when I first watched it, didn't bother me, but now kind of does.
Yeah.
He's flying through the air over fucking some Middle Eastern country, and they shoot him with like a fucking rocket launcher, and he goes...
No, what wasn't it the tank?
Yeah, something shot him, and he hits the ground, and it's like...
He's fine.
He should be, like, just mashed.
Yeah.
Like, to pieces. Which something, I feel like whenever they have him hit the ground now, he doesn't quite just, the force of a fucking meteor.
Yeah.
But, no. That's just nitpicking.
I'm pretty
anyway.
sure in that part it was the tank.
The
Yeah, I
tank
think it
Which
was
is
a tank.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
he just
that's an
flying,
insane
and it's
shot.
kind of just like, bam.
Yeah.
Like, because you didn't see any rocket stream or tail.
absolutely.
It's kind of just, wow, okay.
It was just like a real heavy bullet or
Like,
something.
perfect shot.
Yeah, and then there's that trailer moment where he shoots the rocket at the tank.
off.
and-
Walks off.
Because cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And he could have used that weapon so much more in that fucking movie. So he used it once.
Fuck.
Did you only have one? Did you only have enough money for one? Jesus.
As these movies go on, so does the audience's irritation with Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
Like, she
Or
starts...
just Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah,
Is it Pepper Potts?
Yeah,
exactly. But she gradually gets more annoying.
Yeah, she's
Definitely.
Gwyneth Paltrow is kind of.
Yeah, are we
just
talking about Pepper Potts or Gwyneth Paltrow? Like, as in more annoying?
Maybe both.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a.
Is she even acting?
No. I did not like Gwyneth Paltrow at all until I saw that Wes Anderson film she was in called. Fuck. What's it called?
I don't fucking know.
Anyway, but yeah, she's not a very likable screen presence. And the character, the way she's written, she's kind of just this irritating. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird miscasting.
Tell him not what to do.
Yeah, I don't know. She does get progressively more annoying, culminating with Iron Man 3, where she turns into Lava Girl.
Yeah, but more on that in a minute.
Yeah. Anything else to say about Iron Man 1? The best Iron Man?
Is that saying a lot, though?
I think
that's not really saying a lot. The best Iron Man.
Yeah.
Actually, is Avengers the best Iron Man?
It's pretty much an Iron Man film.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the trilogy, first one's the best, but the best Iron Man movie would be Avengers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does the character well. He kind of has a bit more of... Like, I feel like... I don't know. Iron Man kind of goes through the same arc in every film.
Yeah.
I'm a prick. Now I'm alright.
Yeah.
I save people.
Yeah.
But he does that... He's done that 4 times
It's like a fucking sitcom where it just resets after every movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like... That's and you know that's like the problem with Star Trek Into Darkness. They just hit the reset and then cock. that's the love child. Cock.
It is cock.
Kirk and Spock reset. Kirk and Spock reset and then hate each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a big reset button. He's done it every time, and I feel like even now, that's one of the elements that worries me about Civil War. Because we know it's called Captain America Civil War, and we're going to go into it, we're going to be on Cap's side, Iron Man's going to be a prick, probably redeemed at the end. Hopefully they kill Iron Man.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, they need to...
Don't they kill Captain America?
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen the comic came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, in the comic, Captain America dies at the end. So that'd be a good mix-up, because But then, I don't know.
It'd be just like calling out the Star Trek, but they just switch the sides of who dies between Spock and Kirk.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really a big deal.
But Captain America Civil War is going to make $1 billion at the box office. A lot of people are going to see it who haven't read the comic.
Absolutely.
I haven't read the comic. I just know it because I like to fucking spoil everything for myself. Incredible Hulk.
I keep forgetting that's in the MCU.
Yeah, it's
very different.
I think they just ignored it.
I feel like they have a bit, but you can't really because Tony Stark's in it, and that's really the thing that keeps it kind of latched on. It's the lowest grossing film by quite a bit. I think it only made it didn't even make $300 million. Or if it
I liked
did,
it though. It's probably one of my favorite Marvel films. It's really good. A lot better than the fucking Eric Bana one.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's not hard, but
Edward
Norton was a good...
It's how they should do... Yeah, Edward Norton was great.
Yeah.
But I feel like they need to take a page from the Incredible Hulk book and apply that to other origin stories now. We've seen a lot of origin stories, and the good thing about the Incredible Hulk was they're like, okay, everyone knows the backstory of this character. Absolutely. Let's just jump right into it. We'll have a quick montage over the start, and then we'll get straight into it.
Yeah, a lot of it was sort of implied as you're going through, and it's not spelled out for you. Like you get. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure even in the montage, they don't say, like, okay, he likes this chick. It's just implied through the movie.
Yeah.
And you understand what's happening.
Yeah. I quite liked it. It's very simple.
Yep.
He's not really a scientist in it, though.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the only...
But he sort of tries. Like, I mean, he had limited resources, so you can kind of argue that away a little bit.
Yeah, true. That is.
And I'm sure all that sort of equipment he would need to diagnose his problem and fix it, they're watching that.
Yeah.
So he can't, and he's in Brazil?
At the start.
Then
does he go to America? I feel like he's at a university at one point.
It's when the army corners him, they have the sonic gun and everything.
Yeah,
that's a cool fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bit when he grabs the car door and just throws it straight through. I'm sure that's a bit like they're getting him with the sonic. No, when they're hitting him, it's sort of like
yeah.
And then it's like knocking him back, and And I like too how he uses things as like shields and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is weird, like he's a Hulk and he's still using Khador as a shield.
I guess it's yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do. I think it's pretty underrated. I probably haven't watched it in quite some time.
Yeah.
But it's one that whenever I do watch, I'm never really frustrated with anything going on in the movie.
Yeah,
it's very simple and straightforward, but very effective at the same time.
It definitely worked as its own movie where I think maybe some of them, especially once they had the ball rolling with the universe, it felt like some of them were just there for the setup only. And there was a problem.
Thor.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Exactly.
Does anyone remember Iron Man 2? Like,
No.
it's so forgettable.
Because-
Like, I remember, like, Mickey Rourke whipping some stuff around, and that's...
Everyone remembers Justin Hammer because it was comedy aside from Tony Stark, which was on par. It was pretty
And
funny.
I like that
And
actor.
that, like, 5-second end fight,
It
where
was
they
also-
just shoot lasers everywhere and cut everything in half.
Yeah, and it was just the whole thing. Like, I remember just watching that for the first time, that fight scene at the end of Iron Man 2, and it just looks so artificial. Like, they're even in like a garden or something.
Yeah,
it just all looks.
It's very anticlimactic.
Yeah, and it just. Yeah.
The one thing I can think of that I like about the movie is, and I know I might cop hate from some people, but Don Cheadle, the introduction of him as Rhodey.
Yeah.
Because I prefer him much more over the guy in the first one.
Terrence Howard.
I found he was very forgettable. Yeah, it was Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
He's really forgettable in that first movie.
I like the chemistry in the first one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm pretty indifferent to both of them.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Maybe it's just that they haven't done enough with the character. I guess I probably liked that character in Iron Man 3 the most. That's one of the things.
Because he had more to do as well.
Yeah, and he still didn't have much to do, but I liked his banter with Tony Stark in that one. I think that was the best one for their relationship.
Yeah.
I wish that whole movie had just been a buddy cop film with those two. And
that would have been great.
Anyway, we'll get to that later. But yeah, so
it's still an incredible Hulk. I think the after credit scene is one of my favourite. I just find it funny.
I can't remember it.
It's when the general is sitting at the bar. He's like all defeated, having a drink, and Tony walks in. He sits down. The general's talking to him. Says, "Oh, Mr. Stark, you always wear such nice suits."
Yeah.
And I remember laughing in the cinema. And
yeah. No, that's
it's
good.
just interesting.
Was there one right after that? I feel like that's like a mid-credits. Was it even after the credits, that scene?
It was after the credits, yeah.
Was?
Because the movie ends off with Bruce Banner in the...
And then his eyes go green.
Yeah, he's trying to... He's
control his rage.
He's in like some cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere.
And I'm pretty sure there's a deleted scene for that bit. Like, you know where... I mean, this is later for Avengers, but when he turns around and says that he tried to put a bullet in himself, apparently that's cut from that last movie. Edward Norton tries to do that, and then that sort of replaces...
it is.
Cool way to end the cool...
It is good. You know, I remember reading a lot of stuff about that movie and how Edward Norton wanted things to be very, very different for that film.
Yeah, that's
when
why.
When they signed him on, he rewrote the script. He went over everything, and then when they filmed it all and put it all together, they cut a lot of his stuff out.
Yeah.
And some of his ideas, which I don't know how much of them are online, but I remember thinking, he seems like he cared about this.
Yeah.
And that shows a lot in the final product of the final film. But
I think that definitely speaks to partly why he didn't come back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They screwed him over once, and then probably tried to offer him less money for the next one, which is what they did with Rhodey.
Yeah, that's right.
He was a good Hulk. Like
he was.
Yeah,
and he's a good actor, and look where he's gone on to.
And that's like, I really, really like Mark Ruffalo, but I feel like a lot of why people love Mark Ruffalo in that film is the script, and Edward Norton probably could have done the same, if not better, as Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like I've seen more performances of Edward Norton that I've gone, holy shit, you're amazing, than I have for Mark Ruffalo. And I like Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
But he's good as the Hulk. It's just a shame for continuity's sake, and I hate when they recast actors.
It's kind of hard to give a full opinion because we've had a whole movie on our own of Edward Norton, and then we've had the big Avengers performance of Mark Ruffalo, so could he hold it up for a whole movie on his own? Don't know. Will we ever know?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Well, doesn't seem like they're going to make any more.
I wish they made a Planet Hulk. I'd watch the crap out of that.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, they can't do it because he's got to be the Hulk the whole time. But he doesn't. Can't they just put him on a planet with fucking oxygen? Then he can be Bruce Banner half the time and just turn in the Hulk when he needs. Like, does he, I don't know anything about Planet Hulk, but does he really have to be Hulk the whole time for the whole movie?
It's been a while since I...
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like...
they could just change it. Like, they don't have to go... Yeah.
You could just have,
if they can take Kryptonite out of Man of Steel, they can change that little thing
Yeah.
in Planet Hulk.
Because then after the Civil War and everything, the next big thing could be World War Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
What happens in that? Do they just...
Hulk comes back.
Oh, okay. Is that... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And just fucks everyone up.
Pretty much.
He'd be a good villain.
Yeah. It's interesting, I think it's interesting. We've had a lot to say about Incredible Hulk, and no one really remembers it.
Yeah,
or mentions it. But it's quite good.
It is. It's quite good.
I think the Stan Lee cameo is funny as well.
He drinks the bottle with the blood in it.
Radioactive blood, yeah.
And Lou Ferrigno's in it.
Yes,
he's like a security guard.
Yeah, security. When he walks in with a pizza, and he gives him the pizza, and that's where they have a conversation.
Fuck, I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like, he's trying to get into the building, and he's like, I was giving the security guard a pizza, and he'll let me in. And it's Lou Ferrigno.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm sure
that's probably it. It's been a while, but
I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. It's really good.
The
next one be...
Let me just check and make sure the audio is okay. I'll cut this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you leave it in.
Is everyone... I'm going to leave it in.
We're just incompetent here.
Is yours still recording?
Yeah.
Yours?
I guess so.
Just making sure. Next one's Iron Man 2, which we talked a bit about. Yeah, so what happened was they released Hulk and Iron Man. Iron Man made $1 shattillion. Hulk didn't make much.
Yep.
They rushed
People are idiots. They made the wrong fucking choice there. They backed the wrong horse.
Yeah, well, I just think they probably shouldn't have done either sequel to either movie, and they should have just continued setting up Avengers. I would have preferred to have, say, Ant-Man in the first Avengers film than Iron Man 2.
Yeah, and Ant-Man's had plans for a long time.
Exactly. You had Edgar Wright on board, and that would have been coming... When did Scott Pilgrim come out?
I don't fucking know.
Maybe there was
7 or 8, maybe? It's pretty old.
Yeah, I feel like it would have timed up okay, but anyway, what's done is done.
Because he's a founding Avenger.
Exactly.
It would have made sense.
It would have, and you had an amazing fucking director signed on who would have done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Like, if I think about Avengers and another director to do that aside from Joss Whedon, Edgar Wright.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Avengers, Edgar Wright would be great.
Yeah.
Michael Bay. He would have nailed it. He would have nailed it.
It would have been shots of Tony Stark's suit just moving. That's it. with blur and just quick cuts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Iron Man 2. I feel like, so before we started, I said everyone pick your favourite and your least favourite. So just keep that in mind for when we get up to your favourite and least favourite.
Yeah.
This is my least favourite in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay. Iron Man 2. I know what yours guys are. Fuck you both. Iron Man 2 for me is my least favourite because it fails in the one thing that a movie should be able to do, and that's be a movie. And all it is set up for the Avengers. It doesn't...
What do they even set up?
Exactly. So they even fail in that respect because it's Samuel L. Jackson, they shoehorned in, and
I suppose Black Widow.
Exactly.
That's like the only thing.
She was in that movie?
Yeah,
exactly.
She has like barely any lines. She just is there to look hot and kick someone's ass at the end and just be a seed for the Avengers that's coming later on. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If you had to shoehorn her into anything, maybe like put her at the end of the first Captain America, like that.
Yeah, Captain America would have made more sense.
Yeah,
but I feel like, well, you'd forgotten completely. Yeah, I feel like if I had not seen her in Iron Man 2 and it just started off exactly how it was in Avengers,
it was just
it's fine.
That
says enough.
That 5 minutes in the Avengers in that warehouse sets the character up better than the whole of Iron Man 2.
Like Hawkeye had no introduction, didn't he?
Well, he was in Thor.
Yeah.
For like a second. You don't even see his face.
All he does is grab his bow.
Not yet. Well, he goes to grab a gun, and then he grabs a bow. he should.
So pretty much no setup. That's like
what should have happened there is he went to grab the gun and then grab the bow. Then he should have looked at the camera and winked.
Exactly. Yeah,
that would have been great. And then
but this isn't Gotham.
Fuck Gotham. And then he goes into, I think they lift him up in a crane or something, and then he says, "I've got a shot."
I remember that.
Yeah, and Thor's fighting, and we keep getting ahead of ourselves though. So Iron Man 2, well, that's my least favorite. It fails as a movie. It fails as set up to the Avengers.
Yeah.
It is the villains maybe better than the first one, but that's only because the first one didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And the second one is really, really thin.
Yeah.
Ivan Vanko, is it?
Yeah.
Whiplash?
Yeah.
Really, really thin villain, but you know what he's doing, you know why he's doing it.
Yeah.
The first time he rocks up is pretty cool on the
At
Formula One. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that has, like, that Iron Man suit in the briefcase.
It's amazing.
I love that suit. Like, that was really creative, but the whole film feels like it was rushed into production, which it was.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau, I guess, just didn't have enough time to put anything together. I don't know how much involvement he had in the script.
Yeah, it sort of feels like the ending was shoehorned in. Again, another problem with those movies. 2/3, I mean, it's not a great movie, but 2/3 is like the movie, and then the end is just sort of tacked on, like, oh, we've got to finish it now.
Yeah, so let's just have them all shoot shit at each other, and it doesn't,
Captain America 2. It just falls apart at the end.
Absolutely. So I think I've said enough about Iron Man 2. It's my least favourite because it does fail as a movie.
And
it doesn't have a proper 3-act structure.
Yeah.
He doesn't really develop. He's like a prick at the start, and then he's a little bit alcoholic in the middle, and I kind of find that really kind of insulting, the way they treat alcoholism in that film. Like, it's like a joke. It's a big joke. He's shooting watermelons and shit, and then they have a really... I don't know.
It's like that, and also, alcoholism for his character is important in the comics.
Yeah.
And they sort of made a joke out of it.
Yeah. So that sucks.
I just barely remember the fucking movie at all.
Yeah, he gets... Yeah, that's good. Forget it. You can take it out of the cinematic universe and it makes no difference because nothing of consequence happens. It's just even the characters that get set up don't
do anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
they have Rhodey get the suit. That's kind of
that's really the only.
And that doesn't tie into Avengers at all.
Just Iron Man 3, but you could have set that up in Iron Man. Well, they did set it up in Iron Man 3 because he's got the Iron Patriot armor. So again, nothing is really set up of any consequence in that movie. But yeah, all right. Enough about Iron Man 2. The next one is Thor.